Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Dragons of Tarkir Fate Reforged Swiss draft. We opened Deathmist Raptor, and I just looked it up, and it's 20 tickets. So that's a huge amount of money for this card. But it is very good. Definitely good. 3 mana, 3/3 Death Touch. Very good. It's got Morph, so potentially 4/4. And then on top of that, whenever a permanent you control's turn face up, you can bring it back from your graveyard. Face up or face down. I like that. Other notable picks in here, probably just the Sarkhan's Rage. I like Dragon Hunter too, but that's about it. So pretty amazing start. Okay, follow-up pick. Well, I would say the strongest card in the pack is a Tarkir Pummeler. I think on color, nothing worth noting with our first pick. Probably just take the strongest card, which I think is definitely the Tarkir Pummeler. I like Sandcrafter Mage a lot, and I kind of like the idea of picking Evolving Wilds just because I'm starting to, as I've played so much of this format, I'm starting to really get into the more than 2-color decks, which are kind of fun. Splash for your bombs. You know, pick your 2 colors base and then splash for bombs. Those decks are pretty fun, but we'll take Pummeler here, which is a card I've only gotten a chance to play maybe 2 or 3 times in all of these drafts, but it's always been a really nice big performer whenever I do get to play it, so let's go with that. Okay, next pick. Well, 2 good white removal spells, but we also have Epic Confrontation, so I think I'm just going to take that over. I actually like Epic Confrontation more than Pacifism, and I probably like it more than Silk Wrap too. So, yeah, pretty fine pickup here. Otherwise, there's an Atarka Efreet, which I like a lot, and Hardened Berserker, which would also be fine, but not quite on the same level as Epic Confrontation. Okay. So the pick now, we have a Gurmag Drowner, which is definitely the best card in the pack. Kind of by a mile. There also is Colossadon Yearling, which I like, but you don't have to have it. It's not necessary. I kind of feel just taking a Drowner here. I've still yet to do the green-blue deck. It just feels like it's not that good. But 4th pick Drowner, I don't know. Possibly a sign of things in this draft being that blue is open, possibly. Maybe I'll finally make a green-blue deck. In all these drafts, I don't think I've done it once, unless it was like a, 3, 4, 5 color deck. We'll take a look. I think Gurmag Drowner is certainly that much better than Colossadon Yearling, where it's worth taking it over it here. All right, let's see the picks here that are worthy of note. Well, Pacifism's good. In the colors we have, I mean, there's Monument, Gift, Spellfist, perhaps. 5th pick Pacifism might be a sign. You can also splash for Pacifism. And I'm not really giving up anything of note that's even close to as powerful as Pacifism in this pack, I think. So, yeah, I think we're just going Pacifism. All right, now what are the choices? We've got Student of Ojutai, which I do like. We have nothing really notable in red. Green picks. Both of them are kind of unexciting. I think the best pick's the Student. Maybe white is open, maybe. I like Student of Ojutai a lot, though. It's a good card. It definitely seems like it's the best card in here. I guess there's an argument for Coat with Venom, but I'm already in 4 colors. I'd prefer to not make it 5 in 6 picks. So let's just go with the Student. Okay. Interesting. Scale Blessing, which is actually kind of good, but maybe not that good right now. Aven Tactician, which is certainly playable. Ojutai's Breath and Skywise Teachings are not too bad. Nothing too terribly exciting in here. I'm okay with taking Scale Blessing. You know, something nice about taking Scale Blessing is if I end up in green-white, Scale Blessing is going to get remarkably better if I pick up some Servant of the Scales. So let's try that out. Like now I can take Servant kind of comfortably. I'm taking it over Artful Maneuver, but I think that's okay. Like I said, I think Scale Blessing gets really good if you end up with a bunch of Servants. Artful Maneuver is a better card than Servant, but Servant potentially better for this deck. Pinion Feast is a very playable card. I mean, Sighted Scale Lords I've tried to make work before, but currently we're only rocking like 3 creatures in 3 different colors that have 4 toughness or greater. So I think we'll just take the Pinion Feast, which I like. Ooh, Sandcrafter Mage tabled? Yeah, I would say white's open. That's insane. We're slamming Sandcrafter Mage over Inspiring Call. And at that point, we're just, yeah, we're moving into white. So that speculative pacifism paid off pretty hard. Sandcrafter Mage should really not table. It's a really strong card. I'm fine taking Conifer Strider. I've come to appreciate Conifer Strider quite a bit. I'm going to put these in sideboard for now and just sort of focus on green-white. I could take the Territorial Rock, which is fine. Monument potentially lets me splash blue for like maybe Drown or 2. I'm going to take the Monument speculatively, only because I don't think Territorial Rock is like necessarily a card I want for this deck. I actually don't have any problems with Territorial Rock, but I think I'm more than likely to end up with a deck where I don't want it. And picking a speculative Ojtai Monument for splashing some bomb, you know, green, white, or green, blue, or whatever, white, blue spell could be worth it. All right. Well, I like Quartermasters a lot, so I think we take that. I think it's a great card. Certainly a card that interacts well with Scale Blessing. Otherwise, Dromoka Warrior and Herald of Dromoka are both very good. Some amazing red cards in here. So Hope to table Dromoka Warrior, Herald of Dromoka, or Glade Watcher. Any of those table, and I'll be pretty satisfied. Okay. There is a Dromoka Captain. I'm a huge Shieldhide Dragon fan. I think this is the best of that cycle. And just a good card. There is Dromoka Captain, which interacts well with Scale Blessing and actually interacts well with Servant of the Scale. Worthy of noting. But I think I'm going to go with the Dragon. People tend to tell me I undervalue Dromoka Captain, and I guess I can't disagree. But Shieldhide Dragon is just really good, and I like that card a lot. It can be a real game changer, and I think that might be overlooked by some people in this position. This card late game is a real game changer at 6 mana. Another chance to get Haven of the Spirit Dragon. Well, we only have 1 dragon right now, so I don't think that's going to happen. So I think we're looking at Glade Watcher, Lurking Arynx, Segmented Crotique, all of which are fine. Crotique, I guess, interacts well with Death Mist Raptor, seeing as it's a morph card. Also a solid body at 6 mana. Glade Watcher is nice and cheap, though. This doesn't look like a deck that should have too many issues getting to Formidable. It also blocks well. I think we're going to take Glade Watcher. I like keeping my curve low, and if we end up with a bunch of them, it's just fine. Usually Glade Watcher, I feel like I play it in a deck that's got a great late game plan, and we seem more like a beatdown deck, but I still think I can potentially make it work. Jeez. Volcanic Vision's strong. Cobra's strong. There is Center Soul, which is fine. Could just take the Crotique here. I usually like having a Crotique, and it's a good finisher, and it interacts well with Scale Blessing, and it interacts well with Death Mist Raptor, and it interacts well with Glade Watcher. So, alright. Enough things that it works well with in our deck where I'll take it here. It's just not an exciting pick compared to Volcanic Vision or Cobra, but that's okay. Alright. I always want to make the Great Teacher's Decree deck, and it never really pans out. I could take Colossadon Yearling, which is solid body, but not terribly exciting for this deck now. I could take the Great Teacher's Decree and hope I can make it work. It's possible. You only need a couple creatures, really, to make it good. Otherwise, I mean, there's a pretty good chance Colossadon Yearling makes the deck otherwise, but keep holding out that dream that one day Great Teacher's Decree will be good in a deck that I make. Whatever. I'll take it. Alright. So choices now. We have another Colossadon Yearling, Conifer Strider. Conifer Strider interacts the best with Glade Watcher, but I'll take Yearling now. Now that I've passed it for a Great Teacher's Decree, I'll take it in this spot. It seems good. Well, another Great Teacher's Decree. I don't think that's going to happen. Here's our Splash Dragon. So I've got the Monument, and I have a Drowner in blue if I wanted to splash for a Cunning Breeze Dancer, which is a strong card. It really is. Otherwise, I take a Tactician, which I'm never really excited to play, but in this deck, it works well with Scale Blessing, Servant to the Scale. Maybe it synergistically, even Tactician is what I should be looking for, rather than a splash on Common Dragon. It's probably right. Scavenger has good interaction in this deck too. I should have mentioned that. Alright. Charger here actually seems good. Good synergy with Scale Blessing, Death Mist Raptor. Basically, any of the Morph guys are going to have good synergies with Scale Blessing and Death Mist Raptor. So that's just a pro right there. And I like Charger. I've never had an issue with the card. Kind of always thought it was good. Tabling Dromoka Warrior, so I'm really happy that white's open. That's pretty excellent for us. Should be able to beat down fairly effectively here. Okay, so now it's Guardian Shieldbearer. I never played Champion of Aershin. I think it's probably decent in this deck with Sandcrafter Mage and Scale Blessing and Salt Road Quartermasters and Sandstep Scavenger and Tactician. But I think this might actually be a Guardian Shieldbearer deck, as interesting as that is. This might actually be where this card shines the most, since it's working double time with Scale Blessing, and it also is like a cheap 2/1 body, so that's actually kind of nice. I'm going to cut Negate here, because I think could be good against us, potentially. I don't have a ton of guys with 4 toughness or greater, do I? I probably just take the Gate Smasher anyway because it's interesting. I'm going to cut green. Well, going into pack 3, we're looking pretty good right now. We're close to a deck. We already have enough creatures. Our deck could use more removal, but we're not doing terrible on the removal front. We definitely could use some more, though. Just Epic Confrontation and Pacifism, it seems like, at the moment. Wow. Whisperwood Elemental is a good one to pick up. Is that worth anything? It's like another 6 tickets. This draft has been like Christmas for us. Otherwise, cards we consider, I don't know, Hunt the Weak. That's probably the next closest, but it's not very close to how good this card is. Yeah, this card is bonkers. Alright. Deck's looking really good now. I mean, we are definitely a spicy looking little build here. Interesting. Might just be the Kingard. There is a Ward Scale Dragon. Infiltrator and Reach of Shadows are the best cards in the pack. I could hate something because I don't think there's any chance we're going to be short on playables. So I could hate like a Reach of Shadows. I mean, Kinguard's fine. Does have lifelink most of the time in our deck. It actually interacts well with pacifism. Yeah, I don't think we're taking the dragon, especially since I think there's a really high chance at tables. So really it's, do I want to take and possibly play a Kinguard, or do I want to hate an Infiltrator, or more likely a Reach of Shadows? I guess I'll take the Kinguard. I mean, I think Reach Hate there is actually a legit thing to do, but here I think we're just going to slam Light Form. There's also a Sandstep Outcast. Dragon Bell, I mean, Outcast and Light Form are the only two considering, and Light Form I think is just a bit too good in this deck to possibly pass. That'd be a sick one to Scale Blessing or move Quartermaster tokens onto. I like getting all this lifelink too. It's really nice. Outcast has better synergy with Great Teacher's Decree, but I'm ready to boot Great Teacher's Decree if I need to. I'd much rather play a Light Form. Wow, Valorous Stance too. We're going to take that. Valorous Stance is awesome. Very versatile card. What's the weakest card in our deck now? We can. Pinion Feast isn't the weakest necessarily, but I'm willing to sideboard it for now and take a Valorous Stance. Arishan Cleric, Sky Captain, Crew Shock on the wheel, all would be fine. Dragon Scale, we're just getting the highest rewards you could possibly imagine for playing white. There's another Sandstep Outcast in here too. It's just crazy. All right. Great Teacher's Decree is getting the boot. And Dragon Scale General is in. Okay. So Arishan Cleric now to buy time, or Abzan Sky Captain for better synergies. Kind of have my heart set on the Sky Captain. How good is Arishan Cleric? It's not a very good card, but we have so many bombs that I feel like I might just want the Cleric. I mean, Cleric's going to be pretty insane, and at this point I would say we have more than enough ways to win. Deathmist Raptor, General, Whisperwood are all pretty insane cards. I think we're going to take Cleric over Sky Captain. We're just going to basically draw games out, survival style. Lotus Eye Mystics can bring back Pacifism and Light Form. That actually is a good consideration. Let's cut Conifer Strider. I actually like it with some of the cards we have, but I don't need it. Pressure Point is actually a fine card too, but I think I take the Mystics. I don't know if we main deck it yet, but I'll consider it. Here's a Tranquil Cove. Otherwise, Formless Nurturing has some good synergies in this deck, but overall it's not a terribly exciting card. I think I'm going to take Tranquil Cove. If there's some reason I need to splash Negate, maybe, for like some card I just can't beat, like Citadel Siege or something. Although I have Naturalized, so I should be able to beat that. I'm just likely not going to play Formless Nurturing, I don't think. I'll take the Cove. Another Lotus Eye Mystics? Alright, I don't need a second one. I think here we'll hate the Harsh Sustenance, which I think is better than Grim Contest in the right deck. I think we'll take Return to the Earth. Alongside Pinion Feast, it's nice to have some good flying removal. Warflare is pretty bonkers, but Return to the Earth is nice. Alright, Dragon Bell Monk is just straight up good playable card. So, probably don't need the Mystics, main deck at least. And Tactician, I think, is better than Sandstep Scavenger. It's debatable, but I think I like having the evasion more. So let's take the Monk, and let's likely another Arishan Cleric. Guess we'll take it. I'll take a Formless Nurturing now. Hate the War Flare. All right, well, really happy we're in white. We didn't table either of those Sandstep Outcasts. And I think the amazing thing is in both packs there were white picks to take that were better than Sandstep Outcast. The first time around it was Light Form and the second one was Dragon Scale General. So I'm going to stick with both of these cards are better than a Sandstep Outcast. But I mean, I certainly would have liked to have had the Sandstep Outcast too. Our deck's full of good cards, which is a great place to be. And we basically just have to figure out some cuts. So I think the Formless Nurturing is actually going to get the boot, despite it being a really good card, I think, in this deck. I think we've got some better options at the moment. I think Scavenger's going to get the boot, too. I actually like it, but I think we've got better things going on right now. God, we have just a really low removal count, but they are good removal spells. Like Epic Confrontation's the best one we got, but Valorous Stance is really nice and versatile, like I said, especially in this deck where there's actual guys we want to make indestructible. So I don't think we're cutting any of our non-creature spells, that's for sure. So I think the only real cuts to consider are lackluster creatures like Shield Bearer. I'm going to keep Kinguard. So I'm kind of glad I picked that up instead of hating a Reach of Shadows, because I think it's actually good in this deck. I probably can get away with cutting one of these Arishan Clerics, but let's see if there's something I care less about. We have more than enough finishers in this deck. I mean, if you look at the grand total amount we've got that are just excellent finishers, we've got Whisperwood, Dragon Scale General. Shieldhide Dragon's a pretty awesome one. And then Deathmist Raptor, I guess because it keeps coming back, which is a reason I don't want to cut my Morph. And it actually has good interaction with Manifest too, which is nice. Right? Whenever, yeah, that's pretty sweet. I might just cut an Arishan Cleric, but it is good early defense. I kind of just like the versatility of Guardian Shield Bearer more, alongside the likes of Scale Blessing and the Raptor. So I think I'm going to cut one Cleric. I mean, there is Servant to the Scale too. This might just be the weakest card. It's not a very exciting one. And that lets me focus on life gain blockers. Like Servant basically just has good interaction with Scale Blessing. And I mean, it is a good creature to bolster onto, I suppose, as well. But I don't really care that much about it. And we're not like a dedicated beatdown, which makes the clerics better for buying time. We have a lot of life gain too, which I like. I guess Dragon Scale General does have good synergy with Servant. I kind of like Glade Watcher too, just because it is a really nice early blocker. These hold down the fort so well, I feel like, early against like a black-red aggro deck. How good is Dragon Bell Monk in here, though? Maybe the Monk's actually the least good. With Light Form, we have grand total, 5 cards that actually give it prowess. And other than that, it's just a 2/2 prowess. Even like Student of Ojutai is not very good in this deck. I bet Monk's actually worse than Student, though. At least Student has a pretty good body on its own. And potentially gains me life. I am losing a white permanent, I guess, by doing that, but I'm okay cutting the Monk. I feel like Monk's not that good in this deck. It does work well with Epic Confrontation, but I like this deck. I really do like this deck. This deck seems really good. And I kind of feel like I already won, because if I go 0-3, I just sell a Deathmist Raptor and Whisperwood Elemental. I've already ended up like probably 17 tickets up. And that's if I lose every single one. Maybe 15 tickets up if I lose every single one. That's pretty insane, actually. So I think this is where we're at. I think this is the deck. We didn't get any fixing, but That is not a concern of mine. We've got good sideboard options against the Omega Flyers deck. We have a lot of double green and double white, is that right? No, I guess we only have one double white and a couple double green. So why do they want me to go more white than green? How much more white than green did I have? I guess I have a fair amount more, but it's pretty even in the early game. I guess it's not even, but I kind of need both. I kind of need both right away. I guess I'll go with their recommendation. I think that's fine. I need more than one double green spell, but I do have more double white. And I feel like casting Light Form on turn 3 is a higher priority than getting a hard cast Deathmist Raptor on turn 3. Yeah. All right. I talked myself into it. I think that makes more sense. I like this deck. I very much like this deck. I think it looks like a lot of fun. So this is how we're going to run it. I just want to move all my morph guys down so I get a better idea of where they're at. Okay. That's it. So, all right, we'll see you round 1.